I am Zulfi Ahmed, and I'm the owner of Bushi-Ban International, a martial arts organization worldwide. We deal with traditional martial arts. We deal with many aspects, many programs of the martial arts: fitness, personal safety, child development, child care, professional aspect of fighting, combative sports, health and wellness. My mother and my father, late mother and father, they migrated from India. So they were immigrants from India to Pakistan, and I was born in Karachi, and I grew up in Karachi till the age of 23. So I am by birth a Pakistani national and by choice an American citizen. My father was a successful businessman. My mother was a teacher, school teacher. So coming from a traditional background in a country, third world country, the grandparents and some of the aunts and uncles would not see martial arts the way it is. So yes, they wanted me to be a doctor or a lawyer, an engineer, so because that was a traditional way to go. So I was not highly encouraged to pursue, but my parents did encourage me, and then my teachers in the martial arts were inspiration for me to see how they developed themselves from a simple martial artist to an iconic martial artist. I always wanted to come to the United States to compete, so that was a big motivator for me. So in 1985 at age 23, I decided to say goodbye and pack up and move to the United States and start all over again. I started in a city called Seabrook. Before Seabrook, I was appointed director of martial arts with a company, local company called Dance Tree Incorporated. So Dance Tree is a company which hires tap, ballet, jazz instructors to go to different daycares and teach their trade. So they had a advertisement. They wanted to start the martial arts aspect of their teaching, and I was hired as the director for martial arts to start the martial arts program in that company. And I grew that aspect of their programs up to 50 different daycares. And in 1986, I opened my own facility. Started off as a 900 square foot martial arts school. Now we've outgrown that. We are in a 24,000 square foot on a 2.2 acre land with 10 locations in the Houston area, 3 locations in Connecticut, and this is the world headquarters, and we are worldwide now. My financing of startup cost came in 3 different ways. Number one, I had students who saw my vision and they supported me. Then I had a little savings, and then I went to the bank asking for a loan, which was declined. And then finally I went to my landlord and made a deal, which I had no idea what I'm doing. I just spoke from my heart. I said, I want to start a business here. Would you work with me? And the landlord was a wonderful gentleman. He said, yes, I'll work with you. So my rent was $444, and I had to pay the first and last month's rent, and the equipment and the furnishing for the school was $2,600. So I needed about approximately $4,000 to get started, out of which $2,200 were given to me by my students and the families. A few $100s I had on my own. The landlord gave me a break on the rent, so approximately $3,700 to $4,000 got me started. Business-wise, it was a dream come true. So, opening the school, cleaning the school, waiting for the students to come in, and it was that I didn't know that I didn't know. So I needed to learn. So my hunger and ambition to learn. The technical aspects were, not knowing the business structure, how to get a DBA, how to incorporate the business, which I learned, how to sign a lease, how to negotiate a lease, all those technical aspects I learned through trial and error, and through taking advice from people who I felt could give me guidance, and the majority of that was trial and error. Sometimes if there is no demand for a product, you create the demand. Now, teaching in the daycares, I already saw that there was a need and demand. There was a want and a need for martial arts instruction, because out of 50 plus daycares, each daycare had many kids. At that time, it was organic. Like I said, I was not a businessman. I didn't know much about marketing or advertising. I just knew that I'm going to open the school and people are going to come, because they were already coming to the daycares. And I chose a town which I felt was very family oriented and athletically sports inclined, which was the city of Deer Park. So potential entrepreneurs should do the homework. And the homework is knowing the trends. Whatever you're going into, either there's a need or a want, or if you can create a need based on your product, educate yourself, learn as much as you can by self-education and by institutional education. Find mentors and guides. Don't be emotionally invested in it. Use the logic, reasoning. Take advice from others, but don't let others discourage you or distract you. And once you make the decision, be clear about short, medium, and long-term goals. Set short, medium, long-term goals, and don't give up too soon. Nothing is accomplished by a single person. You've got to have a team. You've got to have the right people. You've got to have the right support. So Bushi-Ban International currently employs within our organization approximately 60 to 70 employees. And these are all part and full-time included. First, the hiring process should be slow. They say slow to hire, fast to fire. So when one takes their time in screening, interviewing, and making sure this individual is the right fit for your culture, your vision, your beliefs, your mission, your vision, and they have ambition, the same ambition. So to me, trustworthiness, honesty, creativity, reliability these are 4 key pillars of my staff. I've had partners along the way. I still have partners, and in some locations I've had partners. Some locations I own myself. I have partners currently, and I've had partners in the past. Choose your partners wisely. Make sure you understand their character. Make sure you understand their previous business dealings. Make sure that every arrangement, agreement you do with them is on a piece of paper, and everything is clearly stated, well defined, detailed, and don't go with your heart when you're choosing a partner. So the business environment in my city, I feel, is very positive. By doing research, what we've done through some economic surveys, Pasadena, Deer Park, LaPorte area is booming. There are billions of dollars being injected into our community by way of new refineries. New homes are coming up. So I'm very optimistic and very positive about the future of my business here. Texas has always been a great state to do business by way of its business support systems by the Texas governance. Also, wherever you go in the Houston, Texas area, you see construction galore. There's always, you see cranes, you see construction everywhere. So that uplifts a business person when you see progress and growth. From the mindset, it gives you a sense of pride, as well as motivation. The pros and cons with dealing with local government and state government. We have several programs which do not need to be licensed by any state, which have been a no-brainer. You know, martial arts is not regulated, so we don't have to go through licensing procedures. We are self-regulated. We have our own standards. But then we have certain programs within our business which are regulated by the state, child care, licensing. Like we have an after-school program, Bushi-Ban International. Many of our schools have a state-regulated after-school program. I believe that being licensed for the child care program is a plus. When you look at the government, the local and the state, they are there to help you. They're not there to hurt you. Yes, we all have to pay taxes, and the taxes have hurt us, especially when we had high taxes. You know, that really hurt us when we were paying a lot of taxes. Apart from that, the government is nothing but a positive supporter of our business. They have not put any obstacles. We have to go through regulations. We have to go through inspections, which is good for any business. There have been many factors which have contributed to the growth of the business. Number one, finding good mentors who can guide me, the ones who have gone before me who can guide me. Second, finding a group of like-minded businessmen, entrepreneurs in the same industry and outside the industry, and learning from them. Third, from the financial aspect, reinvesting the profits into the business, and at times you have to borrow money. So at times I have to borrow money from the bank, and majority of the time I've reinvested in the business. Now the reinvestment has to be logical and practical, not emotional. When we borrow, reinvest in the business, we clearly understand where it's taking us, where we are, where are we, and where are we going, and will there be return, significant return on the investment or not. So that has to be a calculated risk that we have to take. The challenges which our business faces is ongoing staff development, because martial arts is a very unique business, and you can't just hire somebody who's graduated from high school or university. They have to be skilled in the martial arts. The other challenges are your basic normal challenges with customer satisfaction. They have come in way of losing students, by way of not gaining enough students to pay the bills. So, we've seen all forms of business challenges, from staff challenges, from legal issues, from marketing issues. And what I've learned, that this is nature of every business. Business will always go through ups and downs. It's your resilience, it's your belief which will keep you going. You find a way to solve the problem. The sense of responsibility is huge on me concerning my employees, my family, and my students. When I look at my students, when I look at the young people who come in not knowing anything and now they're wearing a black belt, to me that's one of the highest level of satisfaction and pride and joy. The one thing which sometimes I look back and maybe regret is that I wish I would have known how to handle certain situations better and keeping those relationships rather than acting emotionally. And I wish I would have had a better sense of human communication. So if my family life is well balanced, if my health is in order, if I'm still pursuing what I love to pursue, if I sleep soundly, if I am for a certain level stress-free, and I don't live in fear, to me that is success. So the success of my business has given me a lifestyle which I dreamt of. I've seen that it has given me the opportunity to travel around the world, to meet all levels of people, from presidents to senators to ambassadors to you name it, actors to champions, and it has provided a honest, healthy means of living for me and my family. There's nothing special about me. It's just the burning desire and the ambition of pursuing what I believed and wanted to be, and not letting anything or anybody get in the way. I think anybody with the same amount of passion can do anything they put their heart and soul into it. Like I said, heart and soul. So not just the mind, not just the heart. You have to be immersed. You have to learn to sacrifice. This has been my passion, my ambition, my hobby since I was a child. Wow, what a great way to live a life. I'm still a child when I walk into the floor. I get to do what I was doing when I was a little kid. I still get to do the same thing. So that's to me what success in this business has given me.